In this video, I want to talk about what I learned from a Australian racing icon. His name was Peter Brock. It was actually one of those experiences for me which was quite surreal because growing up, he was a bit of a hero. I actually remember I had a pencil case and I wrote on it, "Peter Brock walks on water." And that was the kind of guy he was. He was right in the process of winning, touring car championships and the iconic Bathurst 1000. He would win that, and it would just look like the guy was immortal in many ways. And when I got the privilege of working with him in 1998 at a rally I was running, I really got to know him on a deeper level, and I got to see him operate a bit more closely. And then beyond that, I actually met him on another couple of occasions, and one opportunity I had to speak with him for about 25 minutes one day, just one-on-one. We just talked about stuff, and I really just can't explain in words the type of person he was that made him so unique. And I've been sort of thinking about this recently. We had the anniversary of his death, and it was one of those things that mind goes back to those encounters you had with a person who was just of such importance to motor racing in this country. And one of the things that I can take away from Peter Brock was when he talked to somebody, that was the most important thing that was going on for him that day. Now, it may not have been an important conversation. It may not have been something that he was completely focused on. But when he spoke to you, he made you feel like it was an important conversation. So his listening skills were amazing. His advice was always spot on, but it wasn't coming from a point of arrogance. It wasn't coming from a point of superiority. He always treated everyone as someone who could have a go, someone who could get in there and do just as well as anyone else if they have the right thinking. His philosophy on life was very extraordinary. That's what I found when I met the guy and worked with him, and we shared many occasions together. I wouldn't say we were friends. That was not the case at all. But I had interactions with him enough to be able to take away his humility. He was a very humble man. He valued every person that he met. He valued the encounter to the point where it wasn't trying to get something from them. It was just a genuine encounter. And he carried himself with dignity and pride. Now, I take that and put it into the world of business, and there's many people out there who don't give people the time of day. They don't value what other people have got to say. They certainly don't care about the interaction they're having, and they ultimately leave people wondering around where the situation is. I don't know really how he wouldn't have been successful, because the principles that he has is something that actually will last forever. I mean, those basic things that he did, he wouldn't disregard anyone. He wouldn't disregard any aspect. He was eager to help people too. And he was just an all-round nice guy, but it was beyond nice. He had a charisma about him. He had an air of brilliance too, which was something that I think showed me that you've got to be able to listen to people. It's not just about what you know, it's about what they might know too. And certainly I've taken that philosophy with me. And in fact, I would never have started the franchise system that I did if I hadn't had that philosophy and I hadn't learned that from Peter Brock. Because I remember the day that person walked into our business and showed us the product that ultimately became the franchise, was built around that product. And many people had dismissed him, and it was around a certain area that people didn't believe was possible. And I gave him the time of day, and I got him to show me what it was that he had, and I was blown away by it. And that was the nucleus behind what became a very successful business. So if I had have followed what most people do, I would not have ever had that experience. So again, Peter Brock taught me listening is probably your greatest asset, and giving people the time of day and assuming they actually might know something you don't. So I learned that a long time ago, and I'm very grateful for it, and I continue it to this day. And it's something that you don't really hear people talking about, Brocky. They hear about his on-track success and what he did with HDT and Holden and all those things, but we don't hear too much about what made him who he was. And for me, he was a very special guy, and he will always be remembered that way. So that was my take on Peter Brock. If you like the video, give us a like at the bottom there. Also, don't forget to subscribe and tick the bell so you get notifications of new videos as they come through. Thanks for listening. Cheers.